Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for December 5th, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com, to access the Zoom call, which is a demonstration of the SRC4u software. We're going to look for this Zoom banner. If you would like information on the SRC4u software, or if you would like a free demo, click here and talk to Cathy about it. If you'd like more information on the shift pin, which is complementary to the SRC4u software, again, while you're on the phone, ask Cathy about the shift pin. If you're not ready to purchase the software and you're not ready to demo, Cathy has a group, which is the SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group. You can register. It's a monthly fee. She's on Twitter, and you can follow her there. We're going to click through. The call will be live, so you may want to lower the volume on your speakers. One moment, please.
I'm so glad to see those of you who made it today. We're back on schedule. We have a brand new startup scan that started December 1st, but Deborah did something interesting. I really like her to share with you guys first, and then we'll move on.
Okay, last night I decided to work in the B2 with people. Don't know why, but then all of a sudden I found they have a program called Clear Non-Beneficial DNA Programming. And I put in all the people that had anything related to COVID. And they were taking 21, 23 sessions. I was just blown away. I just, I haven't had COVID or anything. And I put myself in and I only needed 3 sessions. So big difference. And I found it to be real powerful for those that have had anything to do with COVID.
So you put in the B2.
Uh-huh.
And in the drop-down menu?
Where it says load cocktail.
Load cocktail.
And there's one that says Clear Non-Beneficial DNA Program.
Cool, thank you.
It's a cocktail. You can load any cocktails that we have, and that's one of our cocktails we have in the P4. And I found it when she called. I loaded. As you can see, I've got all my B2s going. There's none left to go. And what I discovered also, people who've gotten the vaccine are taking, I think the highest was 29 repeats. So it's not a bad idea to do that on a regular basis. Just test for priority because, make sure you have permission. But it was pretty wild. So anyway, let me show you. First of all, I did go ahead and calibrate. And this is our new primary statement here. With grateful heart, I activate intention, pray for awareness, speak the power of the word, anoint for blessing, invoke the light, ask Spirit to help me be who I am. And then with that today, all we want to do is add our cell phones. This is our new startup. And, like I said earlier, because I didn't have any internet and half the time no phone, I really had some SRC time because you don't need either of those things, obviously. But these are the new cocktails, and I've already scanned ours, but I'm going to show you what we've got. These are all high priority. And so, first of all, 0 point. This 36, the guy up in Canada that has been working with us, he loves the SRC. And he has a very sophisticated piece of equipment that he said SRC is more powerful. He sent me a list of the 36 venoms that many people, and it's labeled more as a conspiracy theory, the 36 venoms that are said to be in our environment. And it was a priority for us in November to have that. And it is a priority again this month to scan it. Now, we didn't scan for it today, but many days we did scan for it and asked to have that kind of energy cleared. Again, all of these high priority. Our theme is family and home because over the holidays, we seem to have a little more exposure to that. Accelerated release of non-beneficial programming. This is an interesting one. Activate the innate desire to contribute to others. When that's the key, I think, is when you forget yourself and forget that part and look at other people. Nothing wrong with having ample funds in the family, and that's a high priority. Joanna sent me, and Joanna, if you get a chance to resend that link, I'll just add it in our notes, but she sent some energy on some pendants or some information, and I tested them. And in November, it was very high priority to have all of them in our startup, just the images, but today just this one, and I'll try to get you some information on what that is. This was a big one. Armor of God in all of our food, water, and supplements. Blessings cocktail. Blessings to everything unfolds around me. Break all contracts. This was a big one. Clear all expectation of disaster and replace with joy for the future. Clear wound trauma. Create a better world that works for all, which again, when our own family is stable, that's what we're prepared to do. And to me, this might be just my insanity. It looks to me like there's been a real effort to destroy the family unit. We want the Delaware rate scan again. We want the discarnate scan again. Dismantle all programs designed to program the mind. Dismantle non-beneficial programming. DNA activation. Now, this is an interesting one. This Dr. Amen, are you guys familiar with him? He is a neurologist that has a supplement line, and his work has been phenomenal, nothing short of phenomenal. And we actually want the scan of his supplements this month. So that was a 95% benefit to have that scan in here. We want to have the house clearing at times. Same way with the home again, to search, remove, clear. Family issues, genetic trauma. These are all cocktails or codes. This one, interestingly enough, so far, now not today, but every time I ran it, this was in here for us. And on Thanksgiving, when I did our scan, let me tell you what, I have never seen such spiritual attack. And I couldn't get over it. It was shocking. And I think it's because that was the day we were with our families and focused in many cases on gratitude. And there's certain energies that don't much appreciate that. So, but we want to be that way every day. Family harmony image, love in home image, this karmic command too, because we do pick, many of us believe, I believe, that we pick our families and perhaps pay back some karma through that. We love this language of light scan. We wanted it last month. We want it again. This time we are ready for the Malcolm Ray stuff. We've got, he's got some phenomenal cocktails. And so those are in. This one, a big one, neutralize non-beneficial electromagnetic influence over the brain and body. Ancestral curses, raise consciousness of home, release trauma from past life. Now, the remove and transmute, there are a lot of versions of that, so I went ahead and made a scan. We didn't want it today, but we often do. Remove negative energy from house. We actually wanted this, remove poltergeist from the home, so whatever. Start the day. Now, we didn't scan for this today, but this is phenomenal. There are 4 bioetheric discs that Dr. Kersey developed, and he gave me what was in each one, and I tested it, and we really want this. So I called him and said, can I share it? He said, absolutely. Standard process scan, we want this much. This is the image of God. And last month we wanted it. We want it again this month in our overall scan. This is a big one too. Unconsciously unlovable. It comes up for a lot of people. Does it come from karma? Does it come from how we're treated as a baby? It came up, for example, yesterday with someone, and she said she had been told that when she was a baby, her mother, of course, was just a young girl herself, and she was told that all her mother did was sit and rock her and tell her all her problems. So that can kind of get you in a negative time frame. And then uprooting the altar of marital unfaithfulness and uprooting the altar of marriage breakers. So that's going to give us some interesting information this month. Here is what we asked for today. We want the 0 point. We did want the supplement scan. We want this pendant, not dismantle non-beneficial programming. This one comes up almost every time to clear all expectation of disaster, the house clearing, and release of ancestral curses. So if we go in, any thoughts or comments along the way?
What's the 0 point?
0 point is said to be the perfect balance. That's where you want to be. So in other words, you see some of these things happen in the world, you stay in 0 point. In other words, you have an awareness, but you're very calm and focused and very powerful in 0 point. There are certain tools. I remember years back I had a laser that was said to put you in 0 point. And I got myself in trouble because the owner of the company got all upset over a competing device. And I said, that doesn't look like 0 point. Man, was he mad at me. So learn to keep your mouth shut. But 0 point was something that we did ask to have included in here. And you see that's a little of a chronic stress. Let's see if the sustenance balancer, it just goes all day, every day.
Hey, Cathy.
Yeah.
Isn't the shift pin supposed to
yes.
help with that also?
Yes, absolutely. Much of this is in the shift pin. Let's get in here. And I like to go ahead and put auto in, just in, whatever is there to support. But let's put that in. Let's see if there's anything else. We've done the supplement scan. It's right down here. We can add this again. It won't hurt. Oh, and get that down here. But yeah, there have been some amazing results with this Dr. Amen supplements. You might want to check it out for yourself. Here's our pendant. All right, now where are you? I had that in here, and I had a little trouble finding it the other day as well. Here we go, just a little hyphen is all I need to add. This is a big one, this expectation of disaster, because as we know, those thoughts put little grooves in the brain to pull it in. Very often you have to go to the data. It may be in a Pro Tool or something like that. What I believe is that when we ask for these things, it means we are ready to let it go. So if we go in here now, a wonder click, I can get this down. There we go. There's so much interesting. And by the way, I don't know if anybody got a chance, but I did listen to Peter's radio show on the inner Earth, and it was very interesting. This is another thing with this new phone. I cannot turn it off when it rings. I would not recommend a Motorola phone.
I just asked Cathy. I just asked him for a second interview. So
oh, good. Yeah.
We'll do that in the next week or two.
Wonderful. That I've heard a little bit about that, but not much.
He's a good voice for it.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that, because it's, there's so much out there, so much information that we need. And so you can see where we are now. We're working on acupoints. This candida comes up often, and the candida actually has a consciousness to it. And I'll tell you, I listened to something the other day, actually Saturday night. when I got back online, I was like a junkie, but I listened to something Saturday night. Are y'all familiar with Dr. David Sinclair? He has a book out. I don't have the book, but he's got YouTubes, and they're on longevity. And his proposition is that we don't need to deteriorate. And one of the things, of course, that has totally contributed to the deterioration is the sugar. So I noticed the candida does come up a lot. We're going to have to take a closer look at some point at that. Chi replenish, numbness, there's the pineal. And what you can do, what I've been doing during the day, I always test the meridians when they come up, but then during the day I'll go back and also test with the sustenance balancer. Let's see if we need, let's see. Okay, we don't need the lung meridian scan. And again, you don't have to do any more than just this if you don't choose to, but this is, I like to go in and look at these things. Okay, so we'll take the girdle meridian, has a little information for us. Gallbladder pain, muscle weakness, cloudy urine. Let's just add that. Okay, our overall summary. I'll see the benefit of just putting that in the sustenance balancer. And we've got quite a few codes related to that in here. I don't know why this wants to act up a little bit right now. You see we've got quite a few in here. Let's just do infection right here. Here we go. And we can go ahead and just start with these two. Just go back and forth. Oh, yeah, I'll be going down that during the day. It doesn't take much time, just kind of go back and forth and send the energy. And I'm really seeing some turnarounds with people related to this kind of sustenance balancer work, even with their manifestation. But that's interesting. Who's lying? Is it us lying, or is it someone lying to us? The P4 is working on that stress. About the computer. That makes sense. And again, a cycle that we're going through. So we'll go back and forth during the day doing some of these things. Let's see right now, though. Okay. Okay, so any additional thoughts on any of this? Probably more use of the B2. You can hone in and see what some of the very top points of stress are, and do a little extra with the B2. And I do the scan at the end of the day for members of the energy group that still need a little more energy. Often I work with the B2. It's just as powerful as this, but that way you have your more applications. So any other thoughts? This brings up an interesting question. I got a ton of new things for everybody because of this last week. The SRC stuff didn't stop. And I don't know if you want all this stuff because, I don't want to clog up your email. But we have, the Dr. Amen list. I've got the standard supplements list, so on and so forth, a lot of things. So I guess send me an email if you have time to process this stuff, because there's no sense to overwhelm people. Same way.
I think it's all good.
Well, it's I understand, because I can't keep up with my emails either. So I hate to send it out, and I know that not everybody has time to look at it. So just, let me know. Those of you, just send me an email if you want to receive these. And so I know to send it. Otherwise, we're trying to do stress management here. Yeah, there's a lot out there, a lot going on, and I think we might be headed for some real good times. And maybe that's why we're coming up with this expectation of disaster to be cleared out. Maybe we don't need to listen to some of the things that continue to, how manipulated are we by fear? So I guess that's it. Any other thoughts?
I like the analogy that you have used many, many times, Cathy, and that is you have to be aware, like the truck driving down the street. What is that you say? But you don't have to stand in front of it or whatever. Maybe that's.
Yeah, well, you have to be aware so you don't stand in front of it, but then you don't keep thinking about it.
Exactly, and maybe that's where I agree with all the videos and everything. I personally have just cut down lately because it's like, damn, it's too much.
It is too much. And what happens is, now we know, because of technology that can measure all this, that our thoughts don't come between our ears. Our thoughts come to us from outside in the matrix. We actually have no idea what kind of information, for example, is being carried on 5G. Dr. Kersey said that's real. It's not the 5G that hurts us. It is some of the little spirits right in on it. I don't know about that kind of thing, but we do know from technology that what happens, and I know I'm repeating this, but it's worth repeating, it comes in from outside the brain, And our brain, of course, is a powerful CPU. At that point, the brain activates sensory organs, and we have a whole bunch more than just the 5 that we're aware of. All our organs, all our cells, everything has sensory. At that point, that might be where free will kicks in, because at that point, an emotion is activated, and we have the free will to choose the thought that comes from it. And so the more you think about that and you look at some of the information coming in, especially since we operate like computers, it's coming in digitally. So I myself, based on this last week, I just, read some books and did different things, and I don't think I'm going to be on the internet as much looking at all that stuff, and do a few other things instead.
I heard somebody say last week that we need to practice more of taking things to our heart instead of just letting it flow through the head, and then oftentimes having a knee-jerk reaction because of that. So if you hear something, take it to your heart, and if a topic or even a person, I know sometimes people resonate with me for a while and then they don't resonate with me. You just think about it, it's like, even though you may agree with it or whatever, maybe it's their delivery or something that tends to send people into some type of fear. So I'm finding I'm working at taking more things to my heart when they kind of come across the head.
Yeah, the heart is where the electrical energy is. The only thing to be aware of, I never forgot this, is when I learned that many of the women in prison are there because they followed their heart and did something for some guy. I'm sorry to say that. It makes me sound, I'm not a women's libber per se, but it is a fact. And so there is actually a program that has been drummed into some people called the Follow Your Heart program. You want to make sure you're not caught up in that.
Exactly.
And also, when you're in traffic, when you're driving in traffic and somebody does something foolish, bless them instead of curse them.
Yes. Yeah, we have a blessing cocktail for that's biblically in all the spiritual writing. What you do to clear a curse or to clear anything negative is you bless it. So thank you for that. Anything else?
All good, thank you.
Is the guy from Canada ever going to come on and speak one time about his machine?
Well, I would love him to. It's real early for him.
Oh.
And that's why he has not. He's in Vancouver.
Gotcha.
And I have a session with him today at noon, and he's got he really is something. He's brilliant, and he's got some very exciting ideas for the SRC that he's sharing, and when he shares them with me, I'll share it with you. So it's wonderful to hear, but he went ahead and bought the mastery. He said, whoa, this is incredible. And, it's true. It's true. This is phenomenal software. It looks plain. It doesn't have all the, pictures and all the noises and things that some do. But I have not run across anything more powerful than this SRC. Kevin, would that be the same with you? You've worked with a lot of equipment.
Very true.
So
as a platform, it's so flexible.
Now, a friend of mine, I couldn't do it because I was offline last week, and I don't know now if I can even catch up. But have y'all heard about the summit on how to undo any vaccination damage?
No.
Yeah, she said she had emailed it to me. Of course, that would have been a lost effort as well, but I'll dig back through. I don't know now if we get replays or what, but it just goes back. It makes me think in terms even of the software. I believe there is a solution for every issue. And if it's true, some of the things we're reading about this vaccine, I believe those who want to clear it can clear it. And apparently this summit, my friend went ahead and bought the whole thing for whatever it cost. And, it's going to be something we may want to all do, or at least figure out. Yeah, and so I think the SRC is a big part of that. and other tools too, pendulum, etc. Any other thoughts? I guess that's it for today then. I'm really glad to be back with you guys. I missed you. And we'll keep this work going, and I guess see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
blessed day.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Blessings to all.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.